Hey everyone, and welcome to TopThink. Today we are going to learn about 12 signs of a mentally strong man. Now let's begin. Number 1. Vulnerable pride. It's important to be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished in your life. But pride can also be a weakness, especially among stubborn male personalities. Many men live unhappy, unfulfilled lives because they value their pride above their happiness. They're unwilling to make compromises or admit their weaknesses because they view every weakness as an insult to their character. Mentally strong men, on the other hand, proudly represent their strengths and their weaknesses. They know that no man is without weakness. In fact, the things that make you most vulnerable are often the most valuable pieces of your character. So be proud of yourself, be proud of your life, but never let your ego stand in the way of your long-term growth. Number 2. Patient flexibility. Life doesn't always go your way. Sometimes the ground crumbles under your feet or a curveball hits you smack in the face. In other words, you never know what life is going to throw at you. That's why mentally strong people cultivate a patient, flexible mentality that allows them to succeed in the most unpredictable environments. For example, mentally strong men know that any plan, no matter how thorough, can fall to pieces. You will never be prepared for everything, no matter how hard you try. But you don't need everything to go your way. It may feel like you do, but confidence and security can carry you through almost anything in life. When a situation suddenly changes, mentally strong men quickly adapt and move forward. They don't set their expectations too high, and they don't get angry when their plans fall apart. If you know that life is going to surprise you, there's really only one thing you can do. Take a step back, relax, and be flexible. As long as you're confident and secure, you can make the best of any situation. Number 3. Building tolerance. Mentally strong men have a high tolerance for uncomfortable situations. They put up with awkward moments, long work hours, and harsh criticism. They stay strong and focused, despite any discomfort they may feel. That doesn't mean men should bury their feelings, but a high tolerance can take you a long way in life. A little discomfort today often yields greater things tomorrow. If you want to be mentally strong, raise your tolerance to the uncomfortable situations in your life. Think about things like working overtime or talking to strangers. Both are uncomfortable in different ways, but tolerating that discomfort can improve your life down the road. When you face these uncomfortable moments, it often helps to remind yourself about your ultimate goal. What is it you want to achieve in this situation? What makes any bit of discomfort worth tolerating? Whether it's a career dream or a personal ambition, allow your goals to motivate you through rough matches. A little discomfort is never a good reason to sacrifice your overarching goals. So, stay strong, grit your teeth, and push through to the end. Number 4. Silent skills. Mentally strong men are rarely interested in gaining other people's approval. They don't make choices to impress their co-workers or attract potential partners. That's why many mentally strong people keep their well-developed talents under wraps. You may have no idea how skilled, knowledgeable, or advanced someone is because they never advertise their accomplishments. They don't brag about how much they've done, and they don't expect other people to be impressed by their work. Instead, they quietly sharpen their skills. They work in the background, going the extra mile without saying a word. They work hard because their passions matter to them, and that deep, internal motivation allows them to excel. Number 5. Productive choices. Productivity is a choice you make every day. Every time you look at your phone or flip on the TV, you're making a choice to be less productive than you could be. Unfortunately, the average person makes unproductive decisions almost every day. They're constantly susceptible to distractions and lazy habits. Mentally strong people, on the other hand, are unwilling to waste their time. At every turn, mentally strong people prioritize their long-term gains. They know how destructive lazy habits can be, so they consistently choose to move their life in a positive direction. Of course, productivity choices take a variety of shapes. Being productive doesn't always mean working long hours. In fact, many of the most productive people spend less time working than you'd expect. They may invest fewer hours, but they accomplish much more. Why? Because they're focused on building a healthy, balanced lifestyle. They use every opportunity to holistically improve their lives. Ultimately, that's what it means to make productive choices. You don't have to work 24/7, but you should consistently build a happier, more satisfying life. Every mentally strong person knows that you build a happier life one productive choice at a time. Number 6. Changing course. Letting go is a difficult thing to do. Whether you're quitting a job or moving to a new city, it's hard to leave behind something comfortable in favor of the great unknown. But mentally strong people know that change isn't just a necessary part of life. It's often one of the best decisions you will ever make. If you want to improve your mental strength, summon the courage to make changes. Look honestly at the life you lead and consider whether you are doing the things you really want to do. If the answer is no, don't be afraid to change course. It may be terrifying now, but a single change can unlock the kind of happiness and success that lasts a lifetime. Number 7. Defining moments. A man isn't defined by the mistakes he makes in his life. Instead, he is defined by the lessons he learns from those mistakes and the amount he grows after experiencing failure. In other words, a mentally strong man does not allow his failures to affect his sense of self. He doesn't lose motivation because things didn't work out the way he hoped. A mentally strong man closely examines his failures and wonders, what could I have done better? In your life, there will always be another chance to succeed. No failure is permanent. No mistake is life-shattering. If you're willing to learn and improve, you will always have opportunities to get back on your feet. Number 8. Decisive values. For mentally strong people, difficult choices aren't actually that difficult. The choices themselves are troubling and may require careful consideration, but most mentally strong men know exactly what they want. Why? Because mentally strong people have spent time solidifying their values. When something important is on the line, they aren't afraid to stick to the values at the center of their being. Sometimes that means taking the road less traveled. Other times, it leads them to places they didn't expect. But as long as they keep those values in mind, they can be proud of every decision they make. Number 9. Active solutions. When a mentally strong man faces a problem, he never loses hope. He doesn't complain about the obstacles in his path or the opportunities he doesn't have. You'll never hear a mentally strong man dwelling on his issues because he simply isn't interested in self-pity. Instead, he actively searches for solutions to the problems in his life. Whether it's a roadblock in the workplace or an argument with a friend, he doesn't let his problems fester or grow. He thinks hard about his options and makes real changes that better his situation. Of course, no one makes flawless decisions. Even the strongest people don't know all the answers. But as long as you're actively trying to improve, your problems will never get the best of you. Number 10. Confident encouragement. Are you a source of encouragement for the people in your life? This is a very common sign of mentally strong people. They pursue their own definition of success, but they also encourage other people to find happiness and satisfaction. They genuinely want to see friends, co-workers, and partners succeed, because other people's success doesn't bruise their egos. They don't feel small or inferior when someone else finds something meaningful in their lives, because they are secure in the life they have created for themselves. That self-security is the foundation of any happy, mentally strong person. They support others because above all, they support themselves. Number 11. Motivational challenges. Fear will always be a part of your life. You can't run from it. You can't stomp it out of existence. No matter where you go or what challenges you face, there will always be something that scares you. But fear doesn't have to be a problem in your life. Mentally strong people never allow fear to dissuade their progress or interfere with their happiness. That's not to say fear isn't a part of their lives. They get scared like everyone else, but they transform their fear into a powerful motivator, which pushes them to grow and improve. To put it simply, if you're afraid of something, that fear is an obstacle worth confronting. Instead of running from the challenges in your life, acknowledge your fears and do your best to overcome them. At first you may fail, but eventually you will overcome the things that scare you and become stronger. Number 12. A wide perspective. Mentally strong men seek an open understanding of the world. In every conversation, they have at least one goal. They want to learn something new, something that challenges what they think they know. To gain that understanding, mentally strong people actively listen, invest their emotions, and ask incisive questions. They never dominate the conversation or cater to their own opinions. Above all, they want to broaden their horizons and understand new people and places. Of course, that takes considerable mental strength. It's more difficult than most people realize to expand your perspective. You need confidence, security, and emotional intelligence to understand why you are wrong. If you want to grow mentally stronger, open your ears, because there are many, many things you don't understand. Thank you for watching TopThink, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.